In this short video, I'm going to be showing you how to arrange our new faux spring greens arrangement. This is just a very, very timeless and classic whites and greens that I always like to have in the collection, and I'm arranging it in our large glass apothecary. Now I've put some water in here. I personally love putting my faux flowers in a vase with water, especially if they're in glass. If they're in stoneware vases, then no need. But for glassware, it just makes them look so much more authentic. You would never have a vase of flowers in your house without water in it, for real flowers. So for me, it just makes sense. Now, I have already cut all of these stems to size, but I'll kind of talk you through lengthwise in terms of what I've done. And for some of these stems, you may actually need quite large wire cutters. We used bolt cutters because that's just what we had around. But your normal, like quite small wire cutters that maybe you use for like chicken wire and stuff won't be big enough. So just bear that in mind. And I'm going to start by putting our green eucalyptus in, which is like still takes me back. This is the first ever stem I added into our faux collection, not knowing that we were going to do faux flowers as a big thing. And I remember coming home with about 80 stems in the boot, and Chris was like, what are you going to do with them? I was like, I don't know, but I just love them. They're so realistic. So these are cut down quite significantly. So when we've had people in the past say, you know, my stems look too kind of splayed out, I've said you really need to cut these down even more. People have gone to about here and that they just look too big. Yeah, so be brave, cut. And I would say you can bend them in your vase first, take them out and then cut them on the bend if that makes you feel more comfortable. And this one is slightly higher, I'd say a few centimeters higher, just so that they're not identical. And just because these are in a glass vase, we're going to be crisscrossing the stems over as much as we can just to get that kind of neat look. And then next up, I'm going to get our white viburnum in. So lengthwise on the stems, if I put them over here for you to see, I never cut them the same length. So just bear that in mind. That these are always kind of different sizes, just so that it looks really natural in the vase, but hopefully that kind of helps with where you may need to cut them to. And the shorter one I'm going to be placing towards the front of the vase. I love the way these kind of like white big clusters just kind of naturally droop. You just don't have to do anything with these. They're just so effortless. And then the larger one towards the back and the side, and just kind of making sure that it's sitting within the eucalyptus a little bit. And then next biggest are our lilac stems. Again, these are new to us, with some nice vibrant leafy greens on there, and quite a dramatic difference in height here, if that gives you an idea. This one, again, is going to really droop over the neck of the vase, just because I feel like that helps to kind of connect your vase with your flowers. And this one is much taller and prouder, which will go at the back. It's a nice bulky stem, so it's going to do a lot of coverage. So I'm just going to pop that one down there, crossing it towards the back of the vase, and this one crossing it over to that side, because I've had my tall viburnum on that side, so I'm having my tall lilac on this side. And take advantage of all of the wire in the stem and just bend it to make sure that you're happy with it. And then next I'm going to add in our faux olive stem. So you only need one of these. These are such an abundant stem. You get so many lovely olive leaves on these. And again, this has been cut down a lot, just to make sure that it fits in the vase nicely and that it's kind of in proportion with it. So you've not got a huge amount of length till the first branch there. So I'm getting this in now so that we can start the remainder of the stems kind of nestle in around it. Oh, I've picked up another one there along the way. And I'm kind of putting this in the middle of the entire vase and just allowing those lovely branches to kind of do lots of the splaying out. And this will add lots of nice volume and like that kind of light and airy feel to the arrangement. And then we've got our 3 white ranunculus and the 3 dwarf apple blossom left. So I'm going to get the ranunculus in next. Lengthwise, we've got 3 different lengths. I'll try and hold them all so you can see. or I'll turn them around. But basically, we've got a tall, a medium and a short. Just so, once again, sound like a broken record, they're not going to all look the same. We're not creating any lines of vision in the arrangement. So my short one is just going to topple over the edge of the vase there. Medium one is going to go through the middle. But I don't want it there. Now I don't know if you can see, but these two, this is what I would refer to as creating a line. I can imagine from your point of view, those two are kind of like looking at you, but just by moving it over here and facing it in a different direction, you're hopefully not going to get that. I could even turn it and, like I said, like use that wire to turn it towards that way so that you can't, it's not creating that front on vision, because we've got our last one to go in the back somewhere here. That's hopefully kind of almost dancing at the back, in and amongst the eucalyptus. And then before I pop in our dwarf apple blossom at the end, I'm just going to stand back and have a look and see if I'm happy with the placement of the current stems, just because I find it easier to do that now than once everything's kind of filled in. And so I don't know if you can see that there, but the white viburnum had kind of toppled out a little bit, so it's not even touching the bottom of the vase. So just by popping that back in is just really going to help. Bringing that lilac forward a touch, just so we can see it, like so. And then I'll put these dwarf apple blossom in from here. Now these are quite a short stem anyway, so I haven't cut any of these, just so you know. If you feel like you want any shorter, then feel free. But I'm just going to nestle one in here, and this just adds that very, very pretty kind of delicate feel. One through the middle, and then one at the back, like that. And take a little final step back from it. Make sure that you're happy. Love these big splays of olive, adding a little bit of drama. And you can point these in any direction that you want. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. Very, very classic and simple. And I forgot to mention about cutting the stems. If you are at all worried about the stems may rust at the bottom because you've exposed the wire, I've written a blog about this as well, so it is on the website. I always put a massive blob of super glue or clear nail varnish. You might need a couple of coats on the end of it just to kind of seal it off, so that when it's in the water, it won't rust, your vase won't rust, they'll be absolutely fine. You will notice the water level will naturally evaporate, so just clean the vase out as you would with normal flowers. Well, less than you would need to with normal flowers, maybe every week or so. Well, not even that, probably every 3 weeks. Just so that you don't get that line in your vase. But otherwise, they are here to stay forever. I hope you enjoy, and thank you so much for watching.